Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smack that like button and hit that notification bell to never miss a single upload, and subscribe if you are brand new around here. Let's go get into my pitch for a Halloween remake. Now, I did a video like this in the past. I did videos like this in the past, but I never really did one that's fully in depth, got my thoughts together, and this may be my final video like this because I made tons of videos like this. But this is my pitch for a Halloween remake. Now, why do I always bring up a Halloween remake when I talk about the future of the Halloween franchise? I've said it here. Number one, Blumhouse will keep the rights. Blumhouse will keep the rights. Universal. I think that's good, right? So I think 3 years, or at least four. I say 3 to 4 years after Halloween ends, we're going to get an announcement of a Halloween remake. Now, again, like I said, why do I keep bringing up a remake? Because, again, would it be cool to see a Halloween 9? Yes, a Halloween 9 would be cool, but would Blumhouse make a Halloween 9? Yes, there's a demand for a Halloween 9, but there's not like a huge demand for it. Yeah, it would be cool to see a sequel to Halloween 6. I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to see a direct, sequel to Halloween 4. I think it will be also pretty interesting and just fun. Maybe you do it as a one off where you do a direct sequel to Halloween 2, right? But it doesn't include Laurie and all that. That could, be a possibility. But I don't think none of those, or you can bring Rob Zombie back, which is super controversial and would never happen. But those ideals, Blumhouse isn't thinking about that. Trust me. Blumhouse is looking at what could make them money, and that's it. Really, that's, again, it's a business at the end of the day, but for real, that's what they're looking at, is to what is going to make them money. And that is obviously a remake. Now, I've said it here. I think Halloween is due for a retelling, a new story. Now, off topic, there's a lot more, but some of the best horror remakes that I could name off the top of my head do it the best. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, Child's Play 2019, Silent Night. Those are just to name a few. They take what we know about the characters and tell a new story. Again, a lot of people are getting tired of the character Laurie Strode, and rightfully so. We all love the character Laurie Strode, but I think a lot of people can agree that we are starting to get a little tired of her. We're kind of getting a fatigue. So if we're getting a fatigue of something, it should be stopped, right? And that's how I personally feel. Again, I said it here. I'm personally working on a Halloween script myself, and it is a remake. It is a remake. I've been working on it since last year, which I guess you could say a year now. Taking my time with it because, again, it's it's hard, but it's also fun. Um, but I've said it here. The one thing that I would demand in a Halloween remake, is no Laurie Strode. My Halloween remake, I think, will be more controversial than Rob Zombie. Just because of not having Laurie. I think that would make it the most controversial one because it wouldn't have Laurie. Well, would Blumhouse turn it down? Depends. It really depends on, would they turn it down, or really any studio? Because for some reason, I guess these studios think Laurie is the only story that they can tell. No, it's not. But I said it here. My pitch is very simple for a Halloween remake. We're not sending it in the modern day either. We're sending it in the 80s. I know that trend has kind of died out where TV shows and movies are set in the 80s or 90s. I know that trend has been kind of played out and that trend is slowly dying because it was mainly a trend that was like in 2017, I think up to like 2019. But I think it's still somewhat a popular trend, and I think it's cool. And then just adds an extra flavor to the movie. So my Halloween remake will be set in the mid 80s. So I'm thinking 83, 84, 85, or towards the end of the 80s, like 88 or even 89. Then obviously the sequel will be, if I did have it set in 89, then the sequel will be set in 1990 or 91, which I think would be really interesting. But yeah, that is one of the things, is it would be set in the 80s. Which one would I go with? I say 84. I really think I would go with 84. Um, you know, so yeah, I would go with 84. Atmosphere. I will look at another horror movie for inspiration, and that being Trick or Treat. If you've seen the classic, I think it's a classic horror movie, Trick or Treat, that has Sam in it. If you've seen Trick or Treat, you know that has some great Halloween atmosphere. And, I think that's a classic horror movie. So, looking outside of the Halloween franchise for inspiration, I will be going with Trick or Treat. I'll be looking at that atmosphere and recapturing that. Maybe even going as far as getting that cinematographer to do the cinematography for this remake. Which, to be fair, I would even go as that far to even try to get that person. So, those are the two, can't talk, apologize. Those are the two things right there. It's set in 1984. Yeah, set in 1984. Set in 84. Set in 84. Really good atmosphere, like Trick or Treat type of style atmosphere, to the point where you actually feel like you're in fall, like you're actually feeling like you're in autumn, like you sitting in a cinema or sitting at home. I want you to be able to picture yourself in Haddonfield. I want you to be able to picture yourself in a small town with leaves and all this. Like, I want lots of leaves too in this movie. Even if we got to CGI leaves, we CGI them. Long as they look good, CGI them. Long as they look good, CGI them. You know. So those are the two things. Those are the two things. Now, Laurie. There is no Laurie Strode in this movie. This will be the movie where we can finally move the franchise forward and tell a new story. Now, here comes the tricky part. Writing a final girl that people can get attached to. Because I think that would be the hardest task, is writing a new final girl that people will get attached to and that will love, and will be a new face of the franchise. That will be tricky. So those are the few things right there. Set in 1984. Some really good atmosphere. Some of the best in the franchise. Trick or Treat style atmosphere. No Laurie Strode. Try to write the best. Try to write the best final girl that I possibly can, and just try to write the best story that I can. Now here comes the interesting part. What do I do with characters like Dr. What can't talk. What would I do with characters like Dr. Loomis? Characters like Annie? I'll be honest. Some of those characters will not be in the movie. If they are in the movie, they will be completely rewritten to tell a new telling. Controversial, but again, if you want to see the Laurie Strode movies, they're there. You can watch them. This movie would be a brand new telling. This would not be Rob Zombie's. This would not be John Carpenter's. This will be my Halloween movie. Lots of gore. I want lots of gore, lots of blood, lots of creative kills, some of the most brutal and creative kills in the whole franchise. Supposedly, Halloween Kills is supposed to deliver on that, which looks like they are. So what I would do is basically just combine both of Rob Zombie movies, Halloween 6 and Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, and just turning that up all the way to 100 with the kills, with the gore, and with the blood, and being really creative with the kills, and even let Michael kill like with just like with random things we never seen him kill with. Maybe like let him kill with, I don't know, like I don't know, just something random. Maybe like a weight, which is just something random like a dumbbell. Maybe like have Michael kill somebody with a dumbbell, which is random. I don't know, but just have fun with the kills and be super creative with them. Really, that's about it. The score, I would go classic. The score, I would have it close to the original as possible, but with a little twist. With a little twist. What would that twist be? I don't know. What would that twist be? But if there's a person that I have in mind for a Halloween score, who would I like to? Who can't talk? Who would I like to do a Halloween score? Bear McCree. Pretty sure I said his name right. Probably didn't. But if you don't know who Bear McCree is, he's a really good, horror composer. He did the Child's Play 2019 score, which I love. He did stuff for The Walking Dead. He's a really good horror composer. We've been, again, I think he's really good, and I would let him score my Halloween remake. You'd be like, you got to bring John Carpenter in. I don't even think he would. I don't even think he would like this Halloween. I think he would hate this Halloween movie. And then on top of that, John Carpenter's already did an amazing job with Halloween 2018. So I would just want to bring somebody different and have their own flavor. And I think I guess John would respect that. I don't know. I hope he would. But I would bring Bear McCree. Probably butchered his last name, but his first name is Bear, I'm pretty sure. Bear McCree, bring him in to do the score. Um, like I said, I would bring in the cinematographer from Trick or Treat. Don't remember who that person's name is, but I would bring that person in. I would have some of the sharpest, atmosphere, some cleanest atmosphere. Those are just some of the things that I would have. Like, would I include any of the scenes from the original? Basically, like just recreating them? No. I would not recreate a single scene from Halloween. The only one that I would only recreate two, and that's it. And they're going to be redone in a different way. Like, that's how far I would go. Like, no, like, again, I wouldn't want this Halloween remake to be considered a classic remake. Like that's what I would want it to be considered, a classic horror remake. I think going as far as creating, making up creative scenes, making up creative kills would really do that. Would really do that. Now, when it comes down to the mask, you know, for the mask, I think I would shock people and surprise people. I think I would want something like the original. But I also would like something like from Halloween 6. You know, um like if I knew like how to sketch, like I could probably like sketch out like something like I would like the Myers mask to have the neck of the original. But like the tone of the mask, like the Halloween 6, like that ash type of off white, where it's not completely a white mask, where it almost looks, like a off ash, I guess, type of white, I guess you can say. That's what I would have for the Myers mask. Um, Kind of a in between of the Halloween 1 mask and the Halloween 6 mask, because I love the Halloween 6 mask. Like combining those two, making it close to the original. Yeah, like like I would do that, but Halloween 2018 did that, and they did it perfectly. They did it perfectly. I feel like they did it perfectly. So I would want to do my own thing, and I think kind of combining Halloween 1 and Halloween six's mask and kind of putting those two together, or maybe going as far as, obviously I can't do like a rotten look. Um, Obviously I couldn't do like a rotten mask, which I could, which that would be really interesting. I would like to do a rotten mask, but we have it already. I mean, we have a rotten mask. I mean, I have a really cool idea for a rotten Myers mask. Let me know if you want to know my ideal for a really cool rotten Myers mask. But again, we've seen it in the two Rob Zombies. We've seen it in Halloween 2018, and we're seeing it in Halloween Kills. I think the rotten mask looks awesome. You know, and I think the rotten mask is starting to become a staple, which is a good thing. Again, I love the rotten mask. The two Rob Zombie movies and Halloween 2018, and from what I could tell, it looks awesome in Halloween Kills. So I think I just would go with a plain mask. I think I would just go with like a plain mask. I think I would, at least. My mind changes like every minute, so yeah. That's just those are just some things off the top of my head that I would do. Now for the opening, controversial ending, but here we go. Controversial ending. Not ending, excuse me, opening. Controversial opening. We're showing Michael's family. Now, am I doing like what Rob Zombie did? No. What I'm doing is taking what John Carpenter did, but adding my own flavor to it. So I said it tons of times. Here's my opening for Halloween. It's shot very similar. Again, this is the only nostalgic shot that will be in the whole entire movie. So you see the Myers house. So picture this. You see the Myers house. You see the Myers house. Then you get a pan around shot. Then you get an overhead shot of the house. Then it zooms in to the dining room. It zooms into the dining room, and we get like an overhead shot of the Myers family. We see Michael. We see his sister, yada, yada, yada. We see this, right? Okay? We see this. And here's the part where it's going to shock you, because I totally decided to change this around. So, it's going to get dark. It's going to get twisted here in a minute. So, we see the Myers family. Okay? They're really friendly. They're talking about their day. Michael don't talk. He don't talk. Maybe have like a cue of the score playing while you hear them talking. Michael don't talk. He don't talk in the scene. Have a scene where the dad has like a suit on, and you see like they're very very suburban type of people. Just very typical suburban family that you would see in the 60s. That you would just see in the 60s. It's a very like suburban type of family, and Michael, Michael's dad says like, "How was your day?" Michael just stands there and looks at him. Doesn't say anything. And that's when the camera pans in to Michael's eyes. And that's when you will hear a scream. Okay, it's a black, you hear a scream, the screen goes black. And it will cut to later that night. So it's later that night. Again, I'm taking inspiration from Rob Zombie, when Michael went around and killing his sister and all that. But here's where it gets dark and really twisted. It's Halloween night. There's lightning, there's a storm, right? So that's why Michael couldn't go out trick-or-treating. So Michael can't go trick-or-treating, in this movie either. But it's for a reason, and it's for that atmosphere. So it's a stormy night on Halloween. The Myers family just finished their dinner. They headed off to bed. But young Michael has a different agenda. Young Michael decides to go to the kitchen, finds the biggest butcher knife in that kitchen, and not just murders his sister. No, but murders his mother and father and murders every single body in that house. Murders every single body in that house. And then when we get to his sister, his final victim in that house, his final victim, kills everybody in that house. You hear a scream, title card, Halloween, and the score kicks in. And then we will get a scene in Smith Grove. Again, maybe I would have Dr. Loomis in this, but completely different. I don't know how would I make him different. I don't know, but obviously at the same time, I would want to respect Donald Pleasance at the same time. But I would like this Michael at a young age to be more dangerous than just killing his sister. Like, I would like, possibly have a scene at Smith Grove where if Dr. Loomis is in this, he talks about there's like a meeting, they're having a meeting about Michael. And they talk about like even the most secure security can't even secure him. And even say like again taking cues from Rob Zombie's Halloween, that Michael is very brutal. And that's the thing too I would want in this remake is Michael is totally brutal and vicious in this. You know. But they talk about, you know, um, you know, Michael, there's no saving him. And say like he killed 4 people in Smith Grove. Will we see these kills? Maybe. Maybe I will, but you hear Dr. Loomis, yelling at these people saying, we gotta do something. He's dangerous here in Smith Grove. He can't even, go to the cafeteria. Because he's already killed like 4 people. And say, like he's killed like an inmate, nurses. He killed a security guard. Now, obviously, Michael has to break out. How would he break out? That's where I gotta get really creative. Because I want something really different with that. But, yeah. That is my pitch for a Halloween remake. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments below. Let's have a discussion. Would you like to see this Halloween movie where Michael is super brutal and vicious even as a kid? Okay, even as a kid, he murders his whole entire family, not just his sister. It's set in 1985. Obviously, the present day stuff is set in 1985. No Laurie Strode. Michael, very vicious, very brutal. There's, a really good atmosphere, the most creative kills of the whole franchise. Let's have a discussion in the comments below. Would you like to see this Halloween movie? Catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you go and link in the description. Go check out my brand new album, Winston-Salem to Hollywood. And make sure you go copy some merch. If you copy some merch, it does help out the channel. I will catch you guys in the next video. I really want to have a discussion. Do you want to see this Halloween movie get made? Maybe even as a fan film? Let me know in the comments below.